Hey guys, if you don't know me, I'm Kat. When I asked on my way back from church, what is the least productive thing that I can do today that will just restore my soul, still give me something to do, because I don't like to me, rest isn't just like sitting on my butt doing nothing, because I actually feel disgusting after that. So the answer that I came up with was try and sew a clothing item for the first time. And so that is what we're up to now. So what I've been doing is cutting out my pattern, and that has basically been something that I've downloaded. I bought off of Etsy for like £3 or £4. I think apparently the general rule is don't buy anything for less than £8 because the quality of the pattern or the instructions is just not so good, but this one had good reviews online, so I'm feeling not so desperational about that. But anyways, you buy the pattern, you download a PDF, you print out the PDF, you stick loads of pieces together, and then you cut them out, and you end up with something that looks like this. So my pattern, I'm going to try and make a tie top. I'm going to have 2 front panels like this. So this is the front, size 36. And then this is the back, and it says fold in half your garment fabric and then cut it into one. And then it will unfold and then be one piece like that. So that's that. And then I also have this piece here, which will be the ties. And so I need 4 of these. Okay, so this is the piece number 3, which I need 4 of to make 2 ties. So yeah, now let me show you the fabric that I bought. I've never bought fabric online before. I've gone for a simple dark color, if I remember, so that any mistakes get hidden. So let's see what my fabric is looking like, if I can find it. Okay, this is my fabric. It has arrived. Unboxing. This is from a company called Fabworks. Oh, it's like pass the parcel. Okay. Okay, please don't be another bag. Oh wow. Oh, beautiful. Oh, okay, guys. Wow. What? That's not what I was expecting, I think. Okay, so these are the fabrics that I've got. One is this slightly pinstriped cotton material. And then the next is this dark blue material with what I didn't realize, little palm trees embossed into them. Maybe you can see that when I hold it in the light. That is so random. Why are there palm trees? Okay, I can work with that. It's quite pretty actually. It feels like there's a lot of fabric here, which is nice. Okay, and then some thread to match my fabrics. I ordered a swatch of this material, which already sucks, so I don't want that. And then I've got this interfacing thread, which honestly, I thought there'd be more. I really thought there'd be more of that than there is, but there is this much. Okay, so this fabric here cost me £18 for 3 meters. And then the black utility cotton here, I got 2 meters of it, and it cost me £10. So £38.59. If we can get a nice garment or 2 or 3 out of this, this will be officially a very good use of my money. As you can see behind me, I've set up my ironing board. I've got my iron heating up right now. So I'm going to lay out some of this fabric. I'm going to get my back piece, the cut-on fold. I'm going to fold it in half and then press the fold so that it's like super crisp, and then start cutting. I think I'm going to try and make it out of my palm tree fabric. So yeah, let's get cutting. Oh, this is plenty of fabric. Like if I did that like that. Oh, this actually takes up quite a lot of room. What is the smartest way to lay these up? I feel like no. Can I iron on my floor? Is that stupid? I don't know, it feels stupid to iron on my floor. I'm not gonna keep doing that, that feels really dumb. Folded this, so I need the back to be perfectly straight. This. That looks good. You need a lot of space to sew these. Will fit there. I guess will fit here. I'm just gonna chop off here to make this easier because I don't want to deal with so much. And I guess I will live and I'll learn. as I go along. I've not made an item clothing before, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm praying to my Lord, who is Lord of sewing and all clothes ever, that this isn't a complete fail. I don't mind if it's not a complete success, because that means I've got a learning curve and I will feel really, really accomplished in a few months' time when I'm significantly better than I am right now. But it would be nice if I don't waste all the fabric that I've just bought and invested into this. So however far I have gotten in my progress during B-roll of this talking clip, let's move on to the next step. Okay, Father, help me cut this nicely, please. All right, that should be the back of the top. I don't know how I've done this. I am a fool. I cut the wrong piece on the fold. How did I manage that? Step 1, fail. But we're gonna keep persevering. And I'm probably not going to film again until all the pieces are cut, because I think trying to film is distracting my brain and I am not good enough at thinking about this yet to multitask. So I'll see you when my pieces are correctly cut. Okay, we are back and all the pieces are cut. It was not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be, because the bit that I wrongly folded and cut, I just cut in half, and that made my 2 front pieces. So let me show you what we're rocking with. Here we have the 2 front pieces, which are going to cross over at the front somewhere, and then the back piece on the back, just like that. And then here we have our 4 tie pieces, and the instructions are looking, just watching Prison Break, so the instructions kind of be looking like a Great British Bake Off technical challenge instruction set. I was really anticipating like a video to show me what to do, or like a image by image, step by step process, but that is not what I've got. I have got prepare the front pieces, make the ties, pin 1 tie on the inside of the front right and 1 tie at the center height of the left front. I'm gonna just have to do a lot of thinking. Join the shoulders and right sides together, stitch and press seams open. First step seems to be make the ties, which is fine. I can fold the right sides together. What that means, I believe, is that this is the right side, because I can see my palm trees. I don't know if you can. So I just need to go like this, fold it, and then sew along the edge, and then turn it inside out, and then that is 1 tie. So I'm going to do that 4 times, and then I need to decide if I'm going to, and I probably should, finish the edge here, just doing like a zigzag stitch to seal this shut, so that when I hem, it doesn't just fray inside. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to zigzag stitch every single edge of these panels here. So let's get going with the ties first. This feels like really good quality thread compared to what I was using before, so I'm gonna wind a bobbin with this, because it's way better quality than this Amazon thread that I've been using. It keeps on snapping. Do I have any empty bobbins? No empty bobbins. I might just use the rest of this white thread, and then I can rewind with the rest. I don't want to just waste all this thread though, so I'm going to just use the white thread, because this is all going, it will all be hidden inside here anyways. Okay, let's try sewing with this setup. Okay, that is one done. Let me do the rest and come back. Okay, so turning this is so difficult because I've had to bunch it up so much, but it's by some miracle that I've been able to find the end. So I think I should be able to hold this end and then turn the rest inside out if I can really grip this end. That's the thing, I wanted to make the ties not super large. I think they're meant to be a lot bigger than I want them. I don't know why I think I want them smaller, but I do. So I've now got this pinned and I should be able to unsheath this and then pull it inside out. Oh, I should be able to, yes, that's my tie. My tie's coming through, yay. Okay, you just have to get a bit more violent with it than you're comfortable gunning. And then it seems to pull out. Yay! 3 more to go. Okay, so all 4 of my straps are done and pressed, which means that they are now flat. So my next step is, let me see my Great British Bake Off instructions. Pin 1 tie of the right front and 1 to the center height of the left front. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Okay, so I've decided that I'm gonna do the ties last because I don't know what that's supposed to look like right now. So the next step after doing the ties, which I have not done yet, is sewing the shoulder seams together. So I've just matched them up and I'm gonna sew along these lines, I guess. Okay, the shoulders are done. I'm assuming the next step is just to do the sides. Okay, I've just finished doing the first stitch of the sides and the shoulders. I should be able to wear it now and just see how it's kind of fitting. And then I need to top stitch and see how I'm gonna deal with my like raw edges, because I think I should have dealt with them before I did whatever I'm doing now, but I didn't. So yeah, let me try on the garment. That armhole's feeling a bit small. The armholes do feel a bit small. Let me try it on without this top on. Okay, so without the top on underneath, it's looking like this. And it's looking quite small actually. But because I need to still like roll the edges here and also roll here, I think the fact that the sleeves are like quite snug to my armpit, I think that's okay. My concern is the fact that like if it ties, there's still a bit of like belly showing here, which I'm not a big fan of. Maybe I should have made it like a size up. I'm gonna finish making it anyways and then we'll see how it is. I can always adjust the ties, I guess. So the next step is to do the next tab. That's that side, and then the last one. Okay, so the next step is to attach bias tape to the neckline and the sleeves. I'm gonna need to watch a YouTube tutorial because I don't know how to do that, A. And B, I did get some bias tape, which literally, why have I paid money for this? It literally just looks like a fabric scrap that is sewed on an edge. I probably could make this myself. using scraps. So I might make some bias tape first and then sew bias tape into here, because I technically bought this for a denim project that I have open over there. So I think it's long, but the next step is sew some bias tape so I can then watch a YouTube video on how to attach my bias tape. Okay, I think I have done, I have made a bias and I've clipped it onto my garment. I'm watching this YouTube video.
The crease of the bias.
It says,
Once you've finished
the
this,
crease.
you can flip your fabric over and fold over the bias binding, ready for top stitching.
And then I can top stitch.
Once you've finished top stitching, you'll have a really tidy finish to your bias. Make sure you
I don't even know if that's the end I'm going for, but I'm just gonna do what I feel like doing and then see if it works. Hey, it is later o'clock now, and I have basically created a bias tape using my material, and I have now pinned the entire hem of the neckline and the seams in the front. One of the corners here is looking beautiful. This is me attaching two biases together, which is not the best way, and it means at some point I'm going to be sewing through like 6 layers of fabric, so we pray for my sewing machine when we get there. On the other side, I got overzealous with like my chopping, and I now have not quite as tidy of a corner, even though it's the second one that I folded, which is funny. I regressed, but I've learned now that the first one was a fluke, and the second one I tried something and it didn't work. So what we're going to try and do now is we're just going to try and top stitch the entire hem, and then we will do the sleeves, and hopefully that will take some of the whoop out of the sleeves so that they will fit my armholes better. I will say this is probably all a size too small for me, but I'm trooping through anyways. Maybe I'll have a friend who can fit it beautifully. I'm going to do this step first and then do the other steps. Duh. I'm wearing this much red so that I can show you what I've done, because otherwise all my other vests are kind of black, so you won't be able to see. Okay guys, so many hours later, and this is what we have created. It is way too small for me, and so I think when I realised that it was going to be too small, I started to get a bit complacent. So the design is meant to like cross over my body and then tie up like this and be a really cool kind of like neckline here. That's not going to happen. The armholes are a bit, they're not, it's just because it's too small for me. But let's imagine that we're reworking it now and that like my arms got magically smaller. It could be cool as like a little just tie front, because the two front panels are exactly identical. So imagine I've got one of my ties here. So imagine that this, I just need to change my vest, this is too silly. Okay, so different coloured vest one's slightly better. We've got a little ribbon here and a little ribbon here, and then it just ties at the front like that. It's kind of sweet. I feel like I've heard that song before. I feel like I've seen this before on people. Like, this could be an actual garment, but just not for me because it's too small. But something that I did do, actually two things I did do, I went a bit very off-piste. So regardless of the fact that it doesn't fit me, I am so proud of this, because if this did fit me, this would be absolutely amazing. Because look, okay, here are some things I did. So one thing I did was, because it was looking redonkulous when I went like that, I've added darts to the back, which I was like, this is gonna be so hard, and I did it anyways. And so if you see here, like, it actually fits quite nicely on my back, I think anyways. I did 3 attempts at the darts, and I think it's a pretty nice fit. So there's that. And then we're just imagining the inside of that, so I'm holding it like this. And then the other thing I did was, it's meant to just be one hem around the whole entire, like just one thing. And that was really boring. And I was like, I just want like a little like slit action here. And so what I did was I created, you see that? That is like a split hem. And that is sick. I actually did that, and I just followed a YouTube short and I did that. In my next attempt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and like fold it in so that when I'm wearing it, you can already see the hem, because I think that'll be nice. So this is attempt 1. This is my first attempt at sewing a garment ever. Let me just show you some close-up details I'm really extra proud of, apart from just this, because it's I kind of done a really good job, except for one bit where I knew I should have treated the edges, but I didn't. But I know now where I need to treat it for next time. So I'm going to show you that. And then just imagine me, like, I don't know, it's kind of looks really good, but it just needs to be bigger, like by a size or 2. Okay guys, so welcome to the final garment tour. I'm happy with just the general construction of this. I'm really proud of it. I think it looks generally much better than I thought it was going to turn out. The hem I'm happy with. As I said, with the slit in the seam here, I want to next time do it in a way so that the hem is an open V even when the garment is just sitting flat. At the moment, you can't really see that there's an open hem, so I want it to be sewn in a way that it's always open. As you can see, the only edges that I did not cover in the end with a bias tape were the joining seams of the front and back panels at the side and at the shoulders here. And the reason why this is a problem is because that means that the fabric might just eventually fray until you reach the seam, and then the whole thing just falls apart. And that is bad. So for the next time I do it, I know that these are seams that I need to seal before I go on to making the rest of the garment. Every other raw edge got taped over or hemmed up. So now I know that these are the ones that stay naked. Yeah, in terms of my homemade bias tape, I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. It's reinforced the edges really, really nicely. It looks really professional. So we've got bias tape running all the way along here, all the way along up here, over the neckline, and then all the way down this side as well. So I've used one strip here, one strip there, and one strip there. And as I said, on one of the corners where the strips have joined up, where the strips join up, I have done a really good job at tucking and hiding. On the other side, I cut and left loads of fraying and hemming, and that is not good. So when I do my next one, I need to know that this is the way to go. Otherwise, what I could do is make one really super massive long piece of bias, which might be possible if I have pre-made bias tape, and I have ordered some. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's easier. But otherwise, I really like the way this tuck on this corner looks here. So that's cool. And then the last thing is that on my sleeves, I'm sorry if this is not actually interesting to anyone, but it's interesting to me. On my sleeves, I did like a lazy bias method, and I didn't use enough to overlap here because I was like, what if it looks stupid if they overlap and it's too bulky? But it looks stupid when they don't overlap and there's not anything. So on the second side, I just let them overlap. So I did enough bias tape so that the 2 edges that join up overlap, and it actually looks so good and professional. So I know, again, now I know next time I do it, I can just use this method. So anyways, that is that. It is the next day. It does expose my midriff with a vest. Let's just cover that up. Final garment review. Pretty, actually not that bad. I actually think that this wouldn't even be too far off my size. I was being dramatic last night. I just wanted it to be like a baggy fit, and that was what the picture showed. But I feel like this is actually kind of really cute, and I like it a lot. And I'm really just, like, I literally made this. I made this out of fabric that was flat, and now it is a official garment with side splits. They're so cool. Guess I'm just really happy. Guess I'm just proud of myself. I think it's not even a wasted material. I might even just add the ties and then call that done, because that, can't lie, is kind of cute. Well, anyways, don't tell me anything about what you think. I don't want to hear it. I'm not ready for that kind of criticism yet. Also, just fun story. This bag that I got from Paris, from a place called Atelier Regain, it's on the back of a charity shop. And basically, there are women from disadvantaged disadvantaged lives in France who basically get trained up in sewing, and they take loads of scrap material that gets donated to Emmaüs, which is like the house of charity shop in France, and they create beautiful items with them. And this is one of the beautiful items. And when I got this bag, I just fell in love with the material, because look at that material. But it was kind of like a ginormous bag, so every time I'd wear it I'd be like, ginormous, it's too big. And I washed it recently for the first time in like a year, and it has shrunk. I'm pretty sure it's shrunk. I think it's just slightly smaller than it used to be, and it's making me happy, like ever so slightly smaller, but it's making me happy that it's actually slightly smaller, because it was just slightly too big before, and I felt like it was a bit of a statement every time I wore it out. And now it's just like a calm bag. I'm really happy about that. Maybe one time I'll try and make a tote bag. I think I could. I know I could. This necklace is a muscle, and I think that is so super cute. Caroline Thompson. It's called Caroline Thompson Jewellery, and her stuff is so cute and inspired by nature, and I think you should all get it. This nail polish is £4.50 on Amazon. Just type in silver chrome nail polish. You should be able to find it. You'll have to reapply it like every single day in order for it to stay nice, but it dries in like 10 seconds, and then it's good to go for the day. So it's worth it. There's also like a rose gold colour. I don't like rose gold. There's also like a gold colour, which I like. And these earrings are from Lark. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I am looking forward to seeing you on another video. Maybe I'm making another thing. Maybe I'm painting a thing. Maybe I'm designing a thing. Maybe I'm singing a thing. Who knows? I don't have any kind of consistent style of video locked in yet. I actually don't even think I ever want to get there. So until the next time, I love you so much. God bless you, and peace be with you.